And today is Earth Day, a global celebration of our planet. As we celebrate Earth, NASA is bringing awareness about protecting our planet. Now, joining us live right now is NASA expert Dr. Lesley Ott to give us the inside scoop on what NASA is learning about the planet. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us right now.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we want to talk a lot about this brand new satellite you have called PACE. Now, it takes those incredible images of the Earth, right? Do you have some you can share with us?
Absolutely. So PACE for us is a game changer. Satellites take a long time to launch. This has been, over 10 years in the making. So PACE is taking measurements primarily of ocean color, right? So if you look down from a plane, you might think that the ocean is mainly just one color, blue, maybe a little bit of green. And previous satellites could see that. They could see generally a bit about the amount of green. That tells us about the amount of plant life, these tiny plants called phytoplankton at the base of the marine food web. What PACE is doing is really game changing because it's adding more information in those green channels. So it can see many, many more shades of green than the human eye. What that's doing is allowing us to understand in much more detail than we ever have before the different types of phytoplankton, different communities, and how those little plants are responding to climate change so that we can understand how that influences their ability to sequester carbon and to support life all over the planet.
And Doctor, as we do see those different colors out there in the ocean, does it really help us to understand the ocean's health? And do we know anything right now about the health of the ocean? Any specifics that we're learning already?
Yeah, so PACE has only been up for 3 months, so we're still getting the first data, still building up that observational record. But what we can say from the early data that we're seeing is that we're having a incredible view. First of all, that global picture continues. So PACE continues these long-term records, so we can look at long-term changes in ocean health. But it's giving us these details on phytoplankton composition. You're seeing those cycle through those different colors, and in addition, giving us a glimpse of some tiny aerosol particles in the atmosphere. So that's giving us a new understanding of how all of these different interconnected phytoplankton communities are changing and responding to some of the extremes we've seen, things like marine heat waves, incredibly warm ocean temperatures. So that's going to be incredibly important for improving predictions of how the oceans respond to climate change.
Now, what is the impact that climate change is having on our oceans? You mentioned a little bit of it. Is there a more broad picture that we have to be concerned about, you think?
Yeah, so oceans cover more than 70% of the world's surface, and they are absorbing most of the heat that is being trapped by greenhouse gases in the Earth's system, right? So that's one of the things that's causing concern, acidification of the oceans, and also just this incredible heating, how that's changing both circulation and life in the oceans. One of the big concerns we have too is that not only does the ocean provide life that provides food for many, many people throughout the planet, it also cleans up about 25% of carbon dioxide pollution. It actually removes some of the greenhouse gases that we're putting into the atmosphere, which is incredibly important because without the healthy ocean, without the ability to absorb that carbon, climate change would be progressing even more rapidly than it is. And so ensuring that we can maintain that, understanding the degree to which that is changing is incredibly, incredibly important for just understanding the future trajectory of the planet.
Yeah, we love PACE. It's definitely an amazing piece of satellite technology. Now, it also tracks small particles like smoke from wildfires. How is that helpful for you guys?
Yeah, so PACE is a real game changer. Not just, it does so much on the ocean, right? But in addition to that, in the atmosphere, it's making these very detailed measurements of tiny particles called aerosols. So those are pollution that you can have in cities from things like traffic, events like wildfires that can contribute smoke. So PACE is making those kinds of measurements, but it's not just telling us about the total amount of pollution, it's actually telling us about the size of aerosol particles, how high they are in the atmosphere, what kinds of phenomena that are producing them. That's really important for understanding how far they can travel, how they impact human health.
And Doctor, we really do appreciate you talking with us today. I just have one other question. Is there something that you think is the most interesting to see from space, from that satellite? Anything that comes to mind that you've seen so far in this small period of time?
Well, okay, so I'm from Maryland, so I'm always going to pick the Chesapeake Bay, but the Chesapeake Bay is amazing in terms of seeing the connection between the oceans, rivers, land, human systems like cities. And those early data, those early view we're getting from PACE are even more exciting than anything we've had before. So stay tuned for more on that. But I'm a Maryland girl, I got to say the Bay.
Well, we love it. We love those images, and I can't wait to see even more incredible images from you guys at NASA. We appreciate Dr. Ott, Dr. Lesley Ott, for being with us today and helping us understand how we can celebrate Earth Day with an awesome new satellite. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you for having us.